Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and we're going to talk about Landman Season 2, Episode 9, A Dark Cloud Over Midland. And I gotta say, this was by far the best episode of the season. A lot of moving parts, a lot of themes from the first a couple episodes that have finally come to pass. We are all like, this episode really had no purpose. The episode we all hate, that was 2 episodes ago. But now we know they do. They all have a purpose. And it's all coming together. And you're like, when Landman hits, it hits. So we're going to start off with the beginning of the episode first, right? We're going to go full spoiler. At the beginning is Tommy, Nate, Dale, and everybody, they're making sure the Coast Guard, the EPA, the DOJ, etc., have the bridges raised because they're moving the oil drill thing to go into the ocean because they're going to go out and do the sea. Rebecca, being digmatized, who just looks so happy when she's around fucking Charlie Newsom, who looks way too much like Gavin Newsom, and it's really bothering me. But this is a real thing, and she is digmatized, okay? Like, she is like, wow. And it's just like we learned that Charlie is from like London and that the accent works and that how Rebecca would never fuck a flyover state guy and a bunch of other shit. And then she's like in love and she's like, it's only going to be 6 months till you're back and you got to hope it's big. So that's on that part. Next is this is the part of the episode that enraged me, and not like I was angry at Landman, but I was just, like, enraged because of what the scene represents and everything about it, and I posted the scene on Twitter because I understand the purpose of this 2-minute scene was to enrage everybody and cause a culture storm, and you know what? Good for you, Taylor Sheridan. So, Ainsley goes to TCU, which this is the part what I don't get because this is Texas Christian University. This is not NYU. This is not an Ivy League college on the coast, right, where you would normally see this shit. This is TCU cheerleading camp, right? So this is the start of the summer session of college, I guess, and it's for the TCU cheerleaders and I guess also the, TCU Texas football team, like, to go in and they start their courses early because 'cause they're on a different, curriculum or whatever, okay. We go Ainsley's in the dorm, and Ainsley has by far is when people think of the Democratic Party and what they represent and who is, like, running the show, which is a shaved head, they, them, redhead vegan with an emotional support animal that was like, excuse me, I have to meditate. This is my safe space. I want you to introduce yourself with your pronouns. Basically, imagine a person who's like, excuse you, every woke thing embodied it together. And we learn that the reason she is Ainsley's roommate is because the dean that, um, Ainsley pissed off in the intro thing did this to punish her because she the dean does not want Ainsley to be at the college, right? She's angry that Ainsley's this pretty blonde hot thing or whatever, right? But I was just so enraged at that entire scene. I was like, what the fuck? She's like, I don't like me. I first of all, I don't know who's raising people to be like, I don't care like what your pronoun like Ainsley said, but she was forcing it down the throat. And this is what people mean when they say that the Democratic Party overreached and implemented this thing. Because you're right, it wasn't Democratic politicians. But what's happened is an activist class became a managerial class at various corporations all across America and implemented these idiotic fucking policies, the pronoun check-ins, the anti-bias trainings, and all these other shit that everybody hates, and they wonder how the country swung so right. Because it wasn't just the fact that everyone wanted mass deportations, or that Joe Biden was a hostage patient, or that a Democratic woman can never be president. And by the way, this scene really amplified so much on why I am a firm believer a woman Democrat will never be president. Okay, because I would say the Kamala campaign only employed people like the fucking person in the scene, okay? Without a doubt. Like, everyone who ran that stupid Kamala HQ account looked exactly like that fucking person in this Landman scene, okay? And they wonder, why couldn't we reach men? Why do men, like, fucking hate the Democratic Party and all this other bullshit? Basically, the fucking thing looked exactly what probably most people who work at fucking Pod Save America look like. Like, all of it. The mask, the fucking mask, the they, them, and the vegan, and the I don't like modernity, and please don't eat meat, and all this other bullshit, right? But the good thing is that Ainsley called her mom, and got a waiver so Angela can live in an off-campus apartment and not with the annoying, woke, ugly bitch. So that happened. Then Tommy got fired because I guess this is the whole thing is that, this was what, Andy Garcia was trying to warn is that she doesn't trust you, Tommy, and she's gonna get rid of you soon. And I think like, I understand what's it called? Cammy fired Tommy, right? Which is I think Tommy will be back at the company by the end of the thing because I think Andy Garcia is gonna make it a part of the thing that, like, I only wanna work with Tommy because Tommy is good at what he does. I think Tommy will be back because I don't know what you do if Tommy's not the fucking president of the oil company. So that happens, right? Because 'Cause they're doing this rig launch party. Then, um, Ariana is at the bar, and Cooper's gonna go visit after work, right? The guy that Ariana beat up on her first day at work, tries to rape Ariana in the back alley or whatever. And she almost gets raped by him, but Cooper saves the day, beats his ass, and we see, like, a security camera POV. So, by the way, this is Texas, not New York. So, like, similar to, like, how, like, in New York, it gets complicated if someone breaks in your house and you kill them in self-defense. Like, New York favors, like, everyone but the fucking ownership or whatever because, democratic policies. But and this is Texas, right? There shouldn't be anything to worry about because the point of view is gonna be put a shot. Ariana was gonna get raped. Right? Cooper saved the day, beat him to living death. This is Texas. There is none of this like woke moral nonsense, okay? We're fine. I think Cooper will be fine. I think Cooper will get arrested maybe, but he will not be charged. I mean, the guy will try to charge, but it won't go anywhere. You get it? Like Cooper should be okay. Perfectly fine. But I do hope Tommy gets his job back, right? I'm going to assume if Cammy doesn't rehire Tommy, Andy Garcia is gonna hire Tommy, and I guess the boy, right? Because that's what's gonna happen, but there we go.